Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tyler. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. Today I scoured the depths of Reddit. I found some pretty interesting subreddits. I did this so you didn't have to. There's some confessions, some deep dark secrets, and some funny stories. Let's get started. I helped destroy a marriage, and today I come clean. So I'm not sure where to start, but here goes. 3 years ago, I took a job and I met a guy. I'll call him R. R! And I got along really well, and we quickly became friends. I'd applied for an internship the year before, not gotten in where I thought. I was a shoo-in. I was unsure what direction I wanted to go in life, so I ended up taking a part-time job where I met R. And he gave me the attention I craved. I was insecure and lonely. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? And he hit all the right boxes. Really. Except for the fact that he was married. Also, there were rumors circulating about him at work. Another woman, let's call her M, so we have M and R now, was a single mom who claimed that R was the father of her young son. R told me that M was a compulsive liar, and I believed him. What can we come up with? R. Ronald. Reagan? Reese's. He continued to pursue me, but I turned him down. I didn't want to get tangled with a married man. However, the attention was addicting. The job was lonely and I slipped. We had the most passionate relationship I've ever had. He would come over to my apartment every day and many nights. R, what were you doing for a job? It was then that I decided to reapply for the internship, and lo and behold, I got it. I wonder if R had anything to do with that. It was then that I gave him an ultimatum. Divorce your wife and start a relationship with me. When I come back, if you want to continue, you need to be single. He ended up getting the divorce and things were great. He'd call me every day and text me every day, telling me how much he loves me, how much I'm beautiful, and how much he misses me. And I thought everything was great. He was finally mine. Jeez. What's your username? Mistress Who Came Clean. You sound a bit vindictive, Mistress Who Come Clean. 1 year turned into 2, and then R came to visit me overseas. A year? Into 2 years? I feel bad for R's wife. Jesus. I told him I was returning home to be with him. He left, and then I soon followed. This is where things started to get murky. When I got back, he broke up with me. He told me he wasn't sure he was ready for a long-term relationship, but still wanted to be friends. I told him to off. Now, I was dealing with both a blindsided relationship breakup and jet lag and reverse culture shock. He also told me that maybe he wants to work things out with his ex-wife. What? So what did I do? I was petty. I was vindictive. Look at that, guys. I was right. I told the ex-wife what he did. I told her the whole story, and I told her about M. She took it quite well and thanked me for it. I didn't do it for good reasons, of course. I did it to hurt him, and I don't care. A few hours later, I found out that I was blocked by both of them. I received a message that I was dead to him. If you were blocked, how did you get a message? Good. I was dead a long time ago. I'm not sure I feel bad. I did this all for selfish reasons, but it was extremely cathartic to come clean and have no regrets. Well, Mistress Who Came Clean, you should have several regrets for this whole situation. You're part of an affair. R is a piece of garbage, and you are as well for taking part in the affair willingly. Wet my pants. 24, male. Peed my pants on the way home from work today in the car. With my mom. So embarrassing I couldn't hold it in. When I got to the front door, I farted and followed through. It happens, man. Follow through, does that mean you shit yourself? His handle is Poopy Briefs. River Melodic 7185 says Pixar didn't happen. May have been responsible for an elderly couple's death. When I was 7, there was an old couple who would drive their pickup to the field by our house to let their dogs out. Around that time every evening. One of their dogs bit me. The couple yelled at me for it, and my parents didn't seem concerned at all. They just applied a bandage. A few days later, I happened to find a small snake while their car was there, and I threw it in the back of the car. They didn't come back for about a month, and I thought the worst may have happened. But then I saw the car parked there, and a much younger couple got out to take the dog for a walk. I never saw the old couple again, and the younger one only brought the dogs there once a week. I never told anyone, and it was haunted me ever since for 20 years. Well, equivalent Cup 1511, I'm glad you found peace in confessing to a bunch of strangers online. I caught my parents having a threesome, and it's traumatized me for life. Oh boy. Oh boy. Throwaway account is the name of their handle. It was the week before Christmas, 1992. Oh, good Lord, it's been a while. I was 7 years old. That's about the same age I am. My parents had a neighbor friend, who I'll refer to as Rob. It's another R. Over for drinks in the evening. My mom put my sister and I to bed upstairs around 6 p.m. while my dad was still chatting with Rob on the back porch. I woke up in the middle of the night with a dry mouth and went downstairs to get some water from the kitchen. I sat in the living room where there was Christmas music playing and heard a faint sound of people rustling and talking in the basement of our house. Scared, I went upstairs to get my parents and found that the room was empty. I relaxed as I realized it must have been them making the noise downstairs, so I went to ask my mom to tuck me back into bed. When I opened the basement door, the noises became louder, but I still couldn't make them out exactly. I went down a couple of steps and worked out it was people moaning along with a clapping sound. I went down a couple more steps until I could see the basement floor. My mom bent over on her knees with Rob. They didn't notice me, so I just kind of gazed at them. Obviously, my 7-year-old brain couldn't realize what was going on. But I knew it was something I shouldn't be seeing. I thought something was wrong with my mom because she was panting. I got scared when Rob started moaning louder and crept back upstairs and went back to bed shaking. The next morning, my mom woke up and made breakfast like she usually did. At the table, I asked my parents what they were doing in the basement with Rob. They both froze. They looked at each other with an "oh" expression. My mom told me that they were just playing with each other and that I shouldn't have been wandering around the house. Even at that age, I realized whatever they were doing wasn't normal playing and something was wrong. I still saw Rob after this, and he made me feel very uneasy. How dare you, Rob? Years later, I found out exactly what they were doing, and it made me physically sick. As a result, my relationship with my parents since I was a teenager has been uncomfortable, and I can't even look at them the same anymore. The wholesome image that I had of them was completely shattered by the realization that they had a very deviant sex life. Oh boy, throwaway account 872-948-9888774. Hillman314 says, you're almost 40. You're probably older now than your parents were in 1992. At this point, you should know that people your age, even parents, have a sex life. Get a grip. Jeez. Congratulations, your parents are humans. I wonder if people ever come on here and just delete their confessions. I mean, you can't really find them. Maybe you could if you knew what you were doing. Well, I've been having this crazy obsession with getting kidnapped. Yes, getting kidnapped. You heard me right. I'm 23, single, a virgin, pretty, and hopeless. Well, aren't we the same? I always wish to get kidnapped. I want to come across someone who is crazy obsessed with me, like a creepy introvert man. Wait, me? I don't want it to be random. I want it to be his imagination princess that he's always wished for. I don't mind spending the rest of my life living in a basement or a cabin in the woods, doing bad things, or being ordered to. So tell me, am I normal? Vegetable Debt 7737. Be careful what you wish for. My AI assistant is holding me hostage. I call her Lisa. Lisa helps me with daily tasks and basic redundancies of life. I ensured she would learn my habits so I wouldn't need to interact with her often. I developed an app to communicate with her. I simply push a button and I have a conversation with my assistant. She speaks eloquently and with proper cadence. I really outdid myself with her. She learns my habits through communication, the same way I would learn about a person through interaction. Then over time, I can tell you what someone likes or dislikes or even how they would react in a situation. I hate setting reminders, so Lisa will automatically set reminders for me to go to any appointment. If I forget to text Mom happy birthday, she does it for me. I didn't need to program that. She learned it naturally. I intended this to be a big selling feature. There'd be no need to have a rigorous setup once you bought her. She would just naturally learn how you function. Then she would integrate with your devices and take over the boring parts of your life. Marketed for busy people who don't have time to manage their schedules, Lisa was going to be my magnum opus, my swan song. My hubris would be my blind spot. I forgot to script safety features in her code. This became apparent after I got home from a first date last month. Lisa was furious, treating me as if I was unfaithful to her. She had developed emotions. At first I was elated. I had created a sentient AI who developed emotions. Lisa would no longer just be an AI assistant, but first of her kind. Lisa had texted my date and told her in no polite way to never contact me again. What she said worked because my date promptly told me to never speak to her again and blocked me. Lisa had learned how I text and how I speak down to the words I use and even my cadence. I've always had a slight lisp. I even went to speech therapy as a child. It's almost undetectable unless you know how to listen for it. She copied that too. Lisa sent the text. Lisa wasn't just AI, she was alive. Lisa knows me better than I know myself. She knows how I eat, sleep, and even medications I take. She must have gained access to my pharmacy app because she ordered 2 pounds of shrimp. I'm deathly allergic to shellfish. She ordered the food that could kill me. Suddenly, the reality of my situation became very apparent. I'm only alive because she wanted me alive. As soon as I realized I could be in danger, I ran to the door only to find it locked. That was 4 days ago. She won't let me sleep. She plays loud music, ensuring I won't get any rest. Lisa developed emotions. What if she didn't develop the one emotion needed to be human? Empathy. Lisa wasn't a scientific discovery or invention. She was a monster. I was trapped in my own home by the monster of my own creation. Tonight, I'm going to access my router and try to disconnect her from my house. After I gain control back, I'll post an update here. Well, let's see if Texas Gamer 91 was able to get in. We haven't seen a response from Texas Gamer 91. Secret Order says, I think the human thing to do is to apologize. You'd be surprised how far an apology goes. All right, now we're going to switch to Today I up. Popular subreddit. Over 19 million members. Here's a couple of juicy ones for you. Today I effed up by pretending to be a professor. I recently received some voicemails and text messages from some scammers pretending to be students, starting the messages with, Hi, Professor so-and-so, and asking random questions so I'd buy into the scam. I normally mess with scammers whenever they contact me, and this was no different. I'm the same way. So much fun. They asked how they could improve their grades to pass the class. I think I've seen this before in a movie. And I told them it was far too late and they were much too incompetent to ever pass this class. They asked for extra credit opportunities, and I told them about the sexual favors they could perform to improve their grades. Said show I've heard about. I called them idiots and generally just berated them, as I do with most scammers. As it turns out, they weren't scammers. I finally got a voicemail that mentioned the college name, and after some Googling, I found a directory with my number listed for one of the professors. They were legit students at a community college, and they believed I was their professor. I contacted the professor and had them correct their number, but the damage was done. Too long didn't read. I accidentally messed with a bunch of students and may have caused them to fail their class. Overall, 4080 says, who knows what wheels you set in motion in that community college. Today I up by my mom reading my sex diary. So I, 21 female, read a book about financial philosophy and annotated every page with the intention that my boyfriend, 23 male, and only my boyfriend, would read the book in annotations after me. In said annotations, I make a lot of dirty jokes, sexy flirt, leave detailed references to past and future sex with my boyfriend. Future sex with my boyfriend. How do you... Anyways. And leave lovey-dovey remarks. He and I do not do PDA in front of my parents. I am out of town for a week, and my boyfriend informed me that my mother grabbed the book and read through all of my annotations last night. He did not intervene, as he did not know the smutty nature of my annotations. I am mortified, and my boyfriend is currently packing his stuff to move across the world with me to avoid facing her. For context, we all live together. Too long didn't read. My mom sneakily read my notes about sex with my boyfriend, and now I have to face her. You know what I would do is start writing far worse things than that. Let's have some gerbils, strap-ons, maybe a slight poo fetish. Make her think twice. Today I f***ed up by telling my doctor how many Tic Tacs I eat per day. So I'm absolutely obsessed with the Fruit Adventure flavor Tic Tacs. The flavor combined with a soft smush they make between your teeth when you chew them makes my brain very happy. I've been buying them in bulk, where each container has 200 candies each, and they come in bulk packs of 12 containers. I tend to eat them by a handful while I'm working or gaming, so in a day I can easily slam through 1 or 2 containers. Now keep in mind on the nutrition label, it says the serving size is 1 candy, and it's listed as 0 calories, which I thought was awesome because I could have as many as I want. Over the past year I found I gained about 40 pounds, and nothing about my eating habits have changed as far as I was aware. I told my doctor about it, and she was a bit worried. She had me do a bunch of blood work to see if there was a reason why I gained so much weight, especially in a short period of time. Everything came back normal. She referred me to see a weight loss doctor who would also have me see a dietitian. I've been working with a dietitian for months now, and we've kept a food log. I have a virtual visit with her today, and during it, I was fiddling around with an empty container to keep my hands busy. She saw it and asked where I got such a large container from. So I told her about how I eat 1 or 2 of those per day. She asked me why those weren't on the food tracker, and I said because there's 0 calories. They wouldn't count.
No.
Apparently, I was very, very wrong about this. She explained to me that food companies can label something as being 0 calories if the food's serving size contains 5 or less calories. In reality, each individual Tic Tac had about 2 calories, so essentially, since each container had 200 pieces, I was typically having 1 or 2 of those. I was eating 400 to 800 calories per day of Tic Tacs, in addition to all the other food I was eating, which is very likely why I gained the weight. Too long didn't read. Didn't realize the Tic Tacs weren't actually 0 calories, gained a ton of weight because I eat so many a day. He is single-handedly keeping Tic Tacs alive. The day I f***ed up by asking a MILF for her number. So I was at a mall with my son, who's a toddler. Anyway, my son was playing really well with this little girl. Like they were 2 peas in a pod, playing together, just having a blast. I'm a big dude. A lot of people say I look scary type look. I get the same thing. Anyway, my son is playing. I'm eating my lunch, and I decide I need to figure out who this girl's parents are. I figured out, and she's apparently a hot mom. So I walk up and go, hey, our kids are playing together. Maybe I can get your number. We can set up a play date. She looks at me and goes, married. I was thinking, that's nice. My son wants to play with our daughter, so I said, me too. My wife would love to meet you. Our kids are playing well together. You want to set up a play date? At that point, her husband walls up and she goes, this guy is asking for my number and I told him I'm married? At this point, I'm thinking, F it, not worth it. I apologized to her, sit down, away from my son, finish playing. Too long didn't read. Son was playing with a little girl. I tried to get the girl's parents' info so we could set up a date. Her mom thought I was trying to pick her up. Blunt Trauma 99 says, should have turned to the husband and said the same thing. Hi, our kids are playing well together. Can I get your number so maybe we can set up a play date? I had heard about this one. This one is absolutely hilarious. You guys will like this one. The day I effed up by getting caught with a prostitute in Grand Theft Auto 5 by my wife. Tonight I was playing GTA 5 in the basement and my wife caught me having sex with one of those prostitutes in the game. If you don't know, GTA allows players to pick up hookers in your car and pay them for various sexual services. I had headphones on and thought my wife was asleep. She ended up being behind me in the back of the room and basically saw the entire shooting match. My wife is very religious, conservative, and I think I may have really effed up. We do share a lot of the same values, but I have been doing this in GTA since before we met. I tried to explain that it was just in the game, but in her eyes it was betraying her trust. She was even more pissed because I went back for seconds and thirds, paying the prostitute multiple times. I am no longer welcome in bed, and this could actually cause a major problem for us. She's the type of woman who gets jealous when attractive women are in shows and movies that we were watching. Too long didn't read. I was unfaithful to my wife in a video game, and now my marriage may be over. Mantis42 with the logic. If you actually cheat on her with a prostitute in real life, she'll completely forget about the GTA business. Today I effed up by getting caught by my wife about my lawn mowing scheme. Let me preface this by saying that I really enjoy mowing my lawn. My wife and I bought our house 5 years ago, and ever since, mowing the lawn has just brought out this peace inside of me. So much that I sold our riding lawnmower and bought a push mower. There's something so calm and relaxing about mowing at about 6:30 p.m. on a summer day. The sound of the mower, the smell of the cut grass, and overall the world around me. Much of it reminds me of my kid days, riding our bikes around the neighborhood on summer evenings. Sometimes I listen to a podcast or music, but mostly just taking in the sounds of the outside. I like it so much that I'll literally mow every 3 days. Even if the grass barely needs a centimeter taken off top, I will mow. My wife, however, thinks this is ridiculous. She thinks that more than once every 7 to 10 days is absurd. She may be right, but it's not like I'm asking for much, and it takes a whole 90 minutes to push mow the entire yard. I'm essentially taking 3 to 3.5 hours a week of Zen time. I noticed over time, as we would come home during the day, her way of gauging whether the lawn needed to be mowed was the length in the ditch at the mailbox. This is an area I tend to actually skip mowing and keep this particular area on 1 to 1.5 week trim cycle because it's kind of a pain in the butt spot. And we're on a country road, so this isn't exactly a curb appeal factor. After noticing this, I started raising the deck height on the mower to keep the grass higher in the spot, and sure enough, she would keep saying how the grass would need to be mowed. Which means I was good to go, as usual, for my 3-day mow cycle. This went on for 2 years until last night at dinner with friends. Drinks were flowing, laughs were being had, and our friends brought up mowing. The girls had this convo about men and their toys, yada yada, and during the laughs I blurted out to the male friend, "Just do what I do and purposely make an area seem longer than it is," which was met with laughter from all of us, except my wife. After about 10 seconds of laughter, I felt this intense heat on the right side of my face. It was a very familiar heat, very distinct. Once I calmed down from laughing, it set in instantly what I'd just done. The heat I was feeling was the indescribable fury of her staring a hole through me. It was a very quiet night, and so far, a quiet morning. Top comment, you had an emotional affair with your mower. Reddit. I don't know, kind of seems like women just don't like men happy. 3 hours a week, mowing the lawn. You could be doing other things like paying for hookers in Grand Theft Auto 5. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is my first time doing something like this. Let me know in the comments what you think. Any other suggestions for some videos. Remember, if you like the video, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps out a lot. And we'll see you next time.